Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I have the Rogo for you, which is the Japanese 1.3 battle rating premium rank 1 heavy tank. That's a bit of a mouthful. And it has, well, some things going for it. And yeah, before I talk about the tank, I wanted to get some things out there that I was really eager to tell you. First of all, the internet is really crap. I cannot really record on a reliable basis without proper recording footage. I can't do commentary, no videos, you get it. So over the course of the next few days, my content might actually drop in terms of pure output. I try to fix it. Trust me, I try everything that I can do, but there's just so much that I can do. Furthermore, I hope to settle it for 1.81 so I can get my hands on all the new toys, you know, new premium tanks, normal tanks, helicopters, have a look at the maps, all the good stuff, and then make videos on this. So stay tuned, but keep cool. The next thing is I want you to have a look at my old videos, because in particular recently I get comments like, hey, can you have a look at this tank or that plane, or can you explain me this or that? And very often I have the videos out there. For instance, you know, a long-range shooting guide, how to set it up, where I also explain how to set up the red crosshair, how to illuminate it for night fighting and so forth. It's all out there. Just go to my channel, look at the playlists. There are the tank reviews, the duck talks, there are some you know, guides with tips and tricks. It's all out there for you if you're interested in that sort of videos. And or you go directly to YouTube, type in Napalmratte and the name of the vehicle that you are interested in, and you might receive a hit or a near hit on exactly the video that you want to see. If then you don't get a hit, which might be totally possible, you can of course request a vehicle and I might have a look at it. But you know, very often I get, you know, a few days after I posted a video about tank this or plane that, this very same vehicle gets requested by some of my, I guess, new subscribers, and then, well, it's already out there. That's all that I want to say. Further, you can support me for free by just following me on Twitter or War Thunder Live or Google+, and that helps a lot. Trust me, it helps a lot. Furthermore, for the size of my YouTube channel, you can request me to your friends to subscribe or have a look at my videos, or at best both, and not just to your friends but also to your worst enemies if you hate them a lot. So you know, for the jokes of it, you could recommend me to Orange. I guess that makes for a good laugh. Okay, jokes aside, yeah, the Rogo. First of all, I absolutely fancy the 3D model. It looks absolutely stunning. All the details, the tracks here, all the armor plates, the welded part, the rivet part, everything looks absolutely stunning. I love it. And then there is also the color, the camouflage pattern. I really like it. I think this is the default setting, but I will never change it because it looks just perfect like it is. Furthermore, we have a dual gun setup of a 70mm unusual caliber and a 37mm. Both are named Type 94 cannons. Not quite sure about this, but first of all, let's have a look at the armor. Flat 35mm. Here's some steps of 25mm. Turrets are flat 25 all around. The side armor ranges from 30mm flat to angled. Yeah, here's some tracks and some spaced armor, I guess. So the rear of the tank also 13mm only, so relatively thin, but you can see that there is a lot of ammunition. Take most out of it. You don't need 100 or 150 rounds. 25 per guns is mostly enough. And then you have 6 crew members, which give this tank a lot of sturdiness. It can stay in the fight, it can fire back all the way, and it can survive some penetrations. So that is the Rogo. I really like it. Let's have a look at the gun performance. And the 70mm only has 48mm of penetration, but it's battle rating 1.3, so it evens it out a little bit, but it's not really the most convincing gun. While it has 170 grams of explosive mass, the muzzle velocity is really bad, but thanks to the caliber, you can overmatch like 10mm platings or something along the lines like this, or 11mm, because you know it is very important to just not bounce off, which is the problem of the 37mm, which makes it really much easier to hit your targets with nearly double the muzzle velocity. It just has 13 grams of TNT equivalent, but APHE is still APHE, so you will kill a lot of crew. 44mm of penetration, but it really drops quite a lot at distance. But this is not a long-range sniper in the first place. And yeah, we have decent rate of fire, 4.2 seconds. Good gun handling with minus 10 degrees of turret rotation speed, at least for the big one. The smaller one, the lower one, rotates a bit faster. I recommend to aim it in third person. Mobility is not the very best, but it's not terrible either. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into some battle and let's see what we can achieve in this tank. So here we are on the Japan map, or the Emperor's Garden map, in a Japanese tank. I think this is kind of fitting. And again, here you can see the tank rolling alive, and again, I love how it looks. Yeah, the Sonderkraftfahrzeugs are all over the place, especially the one here with the special camouflage looks really nice. And in contrast to those tanks, this one is really antiquated. One really big drawback that this tank has is that it doesn't come with heat shells to hull break tanks, such as the LVT and some, you know, SPAs in particular. And you really have to pump out a lot of your ammunition to kill such tanks, as you will see later on. Here you can see the mobility uphill. It's not the very greatest, to be honest. And I think when you look at some other nations' tanks, they're just so much more mobile, and they just have also better guns. But you must not underestimate in that mix or that blend the amount of armor and or survivability. Now you still can die in one shot, make no mistake, like a mouse can die in one shot, but it is just a completely different tank feel. So what I want to do is go right straight into the battle and see what I can do. You will surprise a lot of people with the fact that you have two guns. They might have never seen this vessel or this vehicle, and they just say, oh, he just fired, I can come out and plant a shot into him. But then, you know, you fire with the 37. It's like this clickbait. It's literally a clickbait. You click, you bait him out of cover, and you click again. And, you know, then very often that's the end of the enemy tank. So, I look around me, there is no action there, but there is an LVT, so let's have a look at how it goes. Both shots enter, but not a lot of damage, and yeah, you can see the ferocious rate of fire. I should have taken a better aim, and of course you can take him out by shooting here at the turret and take out the gun breech, and then aim also for the rear crew. So the LVT can take a lot of punishment, but with a single heat shell you just can hull break them. Then I see some action going on. I cannot fire here with the 37, so let's lead a bit up, and there we can see how we destroyed the BT5 with one shot of the 70mm. It's really unusual caliber, so usually I say 75, 50, something like this. So I always have to remember myself that this is actually a 70mm. Now the caliber very often doesn't make too much of an impact, it's more of the raw penetration power. But on other news it also depends on the ammunition type, of course. And APAG, they are bouncy, low caliber are very bouncy, flat armor, you'll do the job. But there is now a potato truck, and well, you could see again no heat shell for a hull break. and I don't think that the HE shell would also be enough or sufficient to deal with this guy. Again, a double penetration here on this little fella. And there you could see the difference against slightly angled armor. The 70mm just does a better job. And this M2A1 or A4 actually had a bit of a bad luck here. So I kill here the driver, and then furthermore, come on. Yeah, that was a headshot to the knee. that's a... Okay, I think I have to explain that while we just try to turn around. Years and years ago, when I was at school, there were like a few guys that were always sitting on the same computers in the break, you know, between the lessons, and they were just rambling on with nonsense. And the best that I ever took up was, or the best quote from it, "Yeah, and I dealt a headshot to him." "Oh, to the knee." Wow. Yeah, they were just, you know, I met people in my life, and some of them were interesting. Like this tank, because now we can see that, well, there's some action going on, and I just missed the tank. So let's give chase to this guy. Or let's chase him rather. And I don't think that this tank is the very best tank to chase anything other than, you know, a dead badger, I guess. Oh, it's an A13. I cannot really quite see him. Third person aim. His transmission is trash now, so I can surprise him. He was looking into the other direction. Double penetration again in the turret, but it was not good enough to kill here the guy on the other side of the gun, so I had to insert another shell. 6 kills so far, so what we gonna do now? That's the question. I do not really want to spawn camp here, but I also don't want to get surprised. Again, this is Gaijin's map design. If you want to play fair, it's very easy to get punished. But then I saw some movement, and where is he? Where is he? There it is. Again, double penetration, and we finish him off. Good stuff. So that was my 7th kill. At this time, I was really like, okay, that's gameplay that you can show. But again, I want to quickly end it up with the, or what says quickly, I want to just finish up showing you the overall maneuverability. So the reverse gear, not the fastest, but again, it's a bit faster than even a Panther. But that's nothing to brag about, right? And look at how awful the turning is. So despite wanting to turn around, the inner tracks still move forward, making your turn much longer than needed. Now, one thing that you also can do with this tank that I forgot to mention is that if you look into a direction where the lower turret can't turn because it has restricted firing angles to the side and to the rear in particular, you can turn the big gun the other way around, and the front turret looks straight forward. So you in theory can engage multiple enemies at once, and that is just simply nice. But it depends obviously how often do you come into the situation and how often are you prepared for that situation. And here we have another customer, and double penetration is this time good enough. So now I just want to go down here and have a look at why A doesn't get captured, and I want to also turn then simply around to have a look at B. So I was slightly confused what shot here at the door 17, but it was actually a board Gepard. And then somebody pings the map near A, and the question is obviously immediately, oh, is that another kill for me? So we still have to look into all directions to not get surprised, but I don't see anything, and the map got pinged for a second time, but I don't see anything. And then he fires at me. Did he see me? Did he ping me? Do I look that unusual? Ugh. And then the tank slides. And so I have to drive backwards, and there you can see it doesn't even turn at all on any sort of slope, and I can't get up there. So all that altitude that I sacrificed to go down here was for nothing, because some guy was either bored or confused by pinging the map. Now there is some action on B going on, and with 8 kills I think, well, I have to investigate, don't I? There you can see how you crawl up the hill. Not very fast. Slowly, slowly. Yeah, we'll make it. And again, we have then a sufficient speed for traveling from, well, A to B. Quite literally. So, yeah, I think it's an odd tank. It just is something that I like to drive for a change. But I don't think that it's like worth the money. If I'm not mistaken, it costs like 2,000 gold needles. Somebody type it into the comment section how much this thing costs. Again, it's more of a collector's thing than really a research thingy. By the way, there are a lot of those tank lines within War Thunder. The rocket tanks like the Calliope and the T-99 and the Panzerwerfer and some other tanks throughout the nations, the Katyusha. They're very, very expensive, but not all that useful. And the same goes like with this tank and the German Neubaufahrzeug. So there you can see that it's pretty difficult to actually hit this guy, even at this range. There you could see I'm down to 2 crew members and just a big gun now. Then I hit him and we take him out with 1 shot. And that's our 9th kill. So, well then nothing more happened, so let's cut it right there. And let's have a quick look at the results. So for 9 kills, we got 22,000 silver lines and 2,222 research points without a premium account. Here you can see how much it would have been with a premium account. 34,000. We got the Survivor Award and a new camouflage. So I really fancy the tank, but again I do not really recommend it as a serious player. With having said this, that's it for me today. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.